I want you to enjoy watching yourselves, but I also want you to learn something, because everybody's got something to learn. So I put a number of lessons in this video, and we all have to learn from them. So let's take these lessons to heart. Let's watch this video. It's for educational purposes and also entertainment purposes. So stick it out and watch it. It's the least you guys can do, is to watch this video. You can learn a lot by watching yourselves and other people play and make mistakes. Recurring themes for this video will be no turnovers. So I want to maintain the possession of the ball. I don't want to be giving it over to the other team. So when we're on offense, I want us to be making smart passes, no blind passes. Next, we're going to see Ty, as he so often does. He's going to take this puck, and he's going to gain the zone pretty fast. And he's going to really put these defensemen at a disadvantage. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up was he makes a great play to gain the zone, but I want to try to make you guys become better hockey players by keeping your heads up. You're going to see that although Ty makes a great effort here and a great play to gain the zone, he can actually do a whole lot better if he has his head up and he's able to kind of see what's about to happen here, instead of taking a low percentage shot into the defenseman. You're going to see a lot of us shooting into the defenseman. We have to make the other team pay for overcommitting like this one defenseman does. So the way we're going to make them pay is that we are going to make a pass. This is exactly what we want. So I want everybody putting themselves in the position that Ty is right now, and I want you to imagine what could have been done just a bit better to make this play turn into a quality scoring chance. It starts by really just, guys, picking your head up and not keeping it down. Let's look up a little and realize what's going on in the rest of the game. We have to just stop throwing pucks at the net, and let's have a little more finesse out there so we can beat these better teams. So I don't mean to pick on Ty. I mean, all you guys are guilty of this. So you all need to try harder to pick up your head and make these higher percentage passes. But you could see just how golden the opportunity is if he just would have taken just a little extra time, let the defenseman slide past, and then look, Tom, and there's even a trailing winger behind Tom, and it would have been a golden scoring chance. Granted, this happens very fast out there, but it's just a quality scoring chance that we miss, and I think everybody on this team is guilty of it. So it's just we just got to get better at it. Now, it's not all Ty's responsibility to throw it across into the slot. It's happening very fast. His line mate, Tom, could have actually helped out Ty by yelling either cross it or slot. So you got to be talking it up out there, guys. And I don't like when you just bang your stick on the ground, okay? You got to know that it's your guy out there. You got to recognize his voice and recognize the lingo, okay? So the lingo that I'd like to see you guys use right now would be to yell something like cross it or slot. Okay, then Ty knows that Tom is open. So it's a team game. It's a team effort out there, guys. So now the ball goes weakly into the corner, and now Ty's got to chase it. Now we're in a very, very low percentage place. We had the other team on the run, and now we don't have a quality scoring chance. Now we're playing to the outside here, and now we've lost every opportunity to get that puck near the net. Okay, so now we're containing this to the outside. Still no quality scoring chance. There we go. Goes ahead. We just miss it. But they're on us. They've got us contained. We never had solid ball possession here. We gave the other team a chance to regroup and get back into a better defensive position. So these golden chances aren't going to happen a lot. So that's why I'm hoping you guys can really get better at picking up your heads and recognizing when you have the other team on the ropes. Now, I'm not exactly right now who this player is, but you can see that our play here is in a different posture. You can see that the head is up, the chest is up, and he is about to make a pass across the ice. He's going to take advantage of this defenseman who is, instead of taking the guy with the ball, he's really supposed to be covering the guy without the ball. So our player recognizes this and makes this defenseman pay for being out of position. Let's see what happens. My guess is we're going to get a quality scoring chance right here. Okay, so I have the benefit of playing around with the remote control here. So you can see it's a much, much better play. This is what we need, guys. We need our offenseman all alone with the other goalie. Okay, so this is a quality scoring chance made possible by our player recognizing that he's got the other defensive guy out of position. So a lot of good things can happen when we play these teams that don't realize exactly how to play good defensive hockey. Now you can see what happens with a quality scoring chance. Then the defense starts to run around like crazy, and instead of losing the ball weakly into the corner, we're actually able to generate a scoring chance, a couple of scoring chances there. All good stuff. Okay, now it's no big mystery what's about to happen here. I hope we just passed it back to the point. And so what is the guy at the point most likely to do? If he's got a clean shot and nobody else to pass to, guess what? He's going to be trying to rip a shot at the net. So my offenseman here, I've got two offensemen right here, and they're a little flat-footed. What you have to do is you have to get in front of that goalie, or at the very least, get next to the crease, because that's where the ball is coming. So let's really get on the let's get in front of that net and look to block the goalie. What you want to do is you want to screen the goalie as that shot is coming in. You want to be looking at the ball, you want to be looking at the point and following that ball in, and then move right at the last second, or look to tip it in. Tom does some great work here, getting to that ball very fast and getting it out of the corner back into play. And what's about to happen is there's a golden opportunity to execute what's called a give and go. So basically, Tom Coffey's about to pass it to John Roach here. And what I'm trying to knock out of your heads all the time is to just put a low percentage shot on net all the time. So actually what happens is John turns around and just puts it weakly on net. But what would happen is if John would immediately give the ball back to Tom as Tom is coming back into that slot. So let's see what's about to happen here, and I'll try to demonstrate. Let's play this out a little longer. Can see how teams that don't really understand good defensive positioning, they're going to really just collapse on the ball, and they're going to leave Tom all alone. So you got to learn to take advantage of this. So let's watch how Tom is all alone it's a brief second. It happens quick. I'm not saying it's easy, guys. So right here, John Roach has a decision to make. It's a quick one, I'll give you that. But what's the best decision here is to actually dish it back to Tom Coffey. Look at all the room Tom Coffey's going to have if he spins around. Not to mention, he's the one facing the net. John Roach actually has his back to the goalie. So he's got to actually spin around and put a shot on net instead of giving it to the guy who actually has a better angle on the goalie. So again, it's all about realizing that the defense is collapsing and trying to take advantage of it. So the ball rides up the defenseman's stick, and basically we had an ineffective scoring chance. Here's something that's just going to blow your mind. What if John Roach had given the ball to Tom Coffey, and then Tom Coffey realized that he doesn't have the greatest shot, and then dishes it off to the defenseman who's coming in for a very strong shot from a very high percentage scoring area? So just to blow your mind, guys, I'm telling my defenseman to kind of cheat in and become part of the offensive play. So basically, we have a 4-on-3 down here for a brief second with Richard coming to the faceoff circle. Now, the defensemen actually are going to be calling out where they are. So if Richard was smart, well, if the play developed that way, he's going to have to yell out circle. Okay, so if you're free in the slot, guy, if you're free in Richard's position right here, what you have to yell out is circle. Okay, we need more communication out there. Now James is open here. He should be yelling circle. Danny comes around and that doesn't really know what to do with it. Perhaps if James had yelled circle, it would have been thrown out to that circle area, and James would have been in a great spot to shoot the ball. And instead, what happens is we lose the zone. I really want to work on possessing that puck, guys. These giveaways can really hurt a team. This is a great work here by Rizzi. He's got nothing else to do but throw it at the net. It's a great play. guys can all take a lesson on what Danny Mac does right here. You can see he's got a defenseman streaking towards him, and what he does is he makes him pay for overcommitting. So what does Danny do? He makes it seem like he's going to go hard along the boards, and then he puts the brakes on, and then he works his way to a much better offensive position by putting the brakes on, faking going deep into the zone, and then he crosses himself back over into the slot area. It's a great play. We can all learn from it. You can see the danger of keeping your head down. He does make a great play to get into the slot area, but he doesn't even know that he's about to fight over the puck with his own man. So there's a lot of benefit to keeping your head up, guys. So as you're running around there, I want you to try stick handling, running, and trying to keep that head up. James is about to make a pretty good play here, making the guy rush the ball right here. He takes off, and then he makes him rush it and actually makes him cough it up. Now what happens is they make a bad pass, and now we're back into the zone. That's what hustle does, guys. May be difficult to see this time, but actually Ty actually picks his head up this time, and it's a much different result. I don't know whether you're going to be able to notice it, but he picks his head up, and it's a much different result. Watch what happens. It's a super clean pass across, and now we've got Tom all alone with the goaltender. This is just a golden scoring chance. And all started by picking your head up, knowing exactly where to pass the ball, and he puts it right on his stick. Awesome play. Now, not much you can do. I mean, the ball kind of gets away from him a bit. But when you're in all alone with the goalie, guys, you got to try to do something with it. And so you want to try go backhand to forehand or forehand to backhand, or just pick one of the corners, aim for his ear, and try to shoot for his ears, or shoot for 12 to 15 inches above the deck surface. Tom makes a great play to dig the ball out of the corner, but I am going to make a point here. He's basically got a really tough angle shot. He's got the goalie hugging the post. He's got the defenseman with the stick blocking a pass across into that crease area. So what do? Do you look to continue to muscle this ball towards the net, knowing that you're probably going to create some sort of giveaway, or do you perhaps take a split second and find out if there's any other players open, so you lift your head up, or you open your ears and see if you can detect a familiar voice yelling a certain position. So let's see what happens. As predicted, the ball doesn't even make it on net and dribbles behind the net. Now we have a certain amount of catching up to do. Now we're back. Now the ball is back into a very low percentage area where we can really do much with it. Now let's see what would happen is if he makes another choice. Let's see if there was something else. Another way to play this is to actually run towards the circle and make a backhand pass to James. If James was a little quicker and yelled circle, perhaps James gets a high-quality shot off from that circle area. So that's the way I would consider playing this another time. If you don't have a great shot, guys, then consider the pass. And so we don't want to turn the ball over. We need to become a little more of a finesse hockey team where we keep the ball and put the other team out of good defensive positions. Through sheer hard work, Tom actually is able to throw the ball out into that crease area and create another good scoring opportunity. I would say the hand pass, you want to really look to pass it to yourself, guys. That's the only time you're really allowed to use your hand and get it on the ball. If you pass it to yourself, then it's cool. But otherwise, it's basically a no-go. That play, basically pass it to yourself, and then we had a guy open in the slot. That would have been the better way to play that. Pass it to yourself, look to get it back on net, or get it to another play. So I really like the hustle that John Roach shows here. He's able to get the ball, but look, did you see him look behind? Nobody was following him. No, he had no help there. But I love the fact that you look up and see if you got help. I like it. This guy, number 25, makes me a little nervous hanging out there. Nobody's got his body. Nobody's got his stick. It's a real problem. Richard right there makes a good play on the stick. Takes the scoring chance away. Oh, there's 25. You see what happens when you leave them all alone? Ball. Oh, that was almost a goal in their part. Thanks to sloppy play, guys. Remember, in defense, it's man on man, body on body, stick on stick. No exceptions, especially around that crease area. Your man is not covered unless you've got his stick. So that doesn't mean just kind of standing next to him, okay? That's not covering him. This ball moves way too fast, okay? So stick on stick, body on body, man on man. Sean Buddy, way to get in position even before the shot was taken. That keeps us in the game. Okay, some good communication there by the defense. Okay, now they're rushing in. Makes a good play. I just wanted everybody to just notice what Rizzy did there. Let's back it up. Watch how Rizzy has taken it to heart as far as the stick on stick. Now, this guy's covered. When you got a guy's stick, that's what I would consider covered. So that's all good. The only mistake he makes is that he should actually realize that this guy isn't as big of a threat as the guy who's in the middle. So if we had to do it again, I would have asked Rizzy to pick his head up and cover this guy that's in the slot. I would say we are way out of position here, defense. We have two guys in the front of the net, and we only have one guy covering. So I think we are definitely guilty of overcommitting ourselves. We have two of our defensemen looking to they're caught too far into this circle area. So it's okay if this ball wants to dribble out into the board area sometimes. So don't overcommit. The guys in the scoring positions have to be covered. That's good hockey. Cover the guys that are in scoring position. So we're just a little too late getting back there. We finally get back, so I'm glad to see we're picking up the men who aren't who are open, but just a little too late there. Got to step it up. We are wildly out of position here. I mean, if I've got 5 guys on the deck at this time, and I only see one guy who's remotely near the center of the deck. So that means I've got 4 players on the left wing side. That's not good hockey. So, is anybody bothered by the fact that we could not clear that ball out of the zone? I know I am, and it all starts with a blind pass up around the boards. This isn't a puck, so it doesn't really wrap around and get up near that blue line. So the first pass that was made, we gained possession, but then we basically risk giving it away right away. I'm trying to tell my defense that what they have to do is they have to carry the ball up and out as much as possible. I want them beating that first forechecker and then either taking it a little more or then passing it. So let's watch how it could have been played differently. But instead, we basically, the ball never gets out of the zone. We cough it up, and they actually get a shot on net. So defense, No blind passes. I want you going stick to stick. So, did you see it? Basically gains possession and throws it right away. So now there's a tie between our player and the opposing player, and I do believe we lose that battle. So we lose the battle. There are two opposing players along the boards there, and they actually are able to throw a shot right at the net. Here we go. We lose it. They had that point pretty well covered, and then they're actually able to throw a shot. And look at this guy all alone in front of the net here. Really not good defense there. A better team makes us pay all day long for sloppy plays like that. Lack of good defensive positioning. Do you guys really think a better team is going to let this guy not receive a pass? Look at the alley that this guy has to receive a pass and create a better scoring chance. A better team makes us pay, guys. That guy in the circle right now scores all day long if he belonged to a better team. These two players right here have to have their heads on swivels. You got to look behind you. There's no reason for my defenseman to be in front of my goalie. This defenseman should have his head on a swivel, looking behind him instead of potentially screening the goalie, or worse, tipping in a shot that comes from the point. Look around you and make sure all the opposing players are accounted for. Look how this opposing player is just kind of lurking around our crease. Nobody's got a stick. Everybody's watching the ball, and oh look, he gets basically a tip-in chance. That guy's not covered, guys. Nobody had his stick. If nobody has a stick, he's dangerous and he can score. So stop watching the ball and get a stick on these guys in front of the net. Okay, we're going to try another one of those wraparound plays, but I'm telling you guys, I wouldn't do that play unless you know you got your defensive buddy back in that other corner. So I would tell you that the best thing you can do is keep it inside that same side. I would much rather have a little fight along the boards trying to gain possession than to just blindly throw it around. As it turns out, we never clear the zone, and it results in the other team gaining possession and getting a scoring chance. So we have to be a little smarter here. I've got two guys here and one opposing player. Those are pretty good odds, but yet we're going to see that both of these players continue to just look at the ball and nobody gets the guy's stick. Okay, this guy is not covered. If you don't have a stick, he's not covered, and guess what? He gets a quality scoring chance right there. Not good. That guy should have never been able to touch the puck. You see how fast the ball gets there, guys? You gotta be able to get on these guys' stick. You're not going to be able to run and catch the guys. You gotta be. Your stick has to be on their stick before the ball gets there. Okay, now we're going to see what happens when the other team makes a blind pass up the boards. Bad things happen with these blind passes, guys. You got to try to avoid them. Cannot believe that James misses the net on this side. And look, it comes back out. Oh, I didn't even see that. Comes out with hits the backboard, and we got a guy right in the crease, ready to put it home. That's a good hockey play. That's what happens when you take up good positions around the net. When there's a shot coming in from the slot or the point, you guys got to be around that net. So Danny Mac makes a very, very good play to beat the guy into the corner, and he makes a pass. But unfortunately, he makes the pass into the slot area because the two people in front of the net don't bother to let Danny know to throw it in the crease. So that's a play where you want to tell your line mate, tell him to throw it in the crease. Tell him crease. Or you'll tell him to cross it. Just another example of how a blind pass results in losing the ball to the opposing player, okay? So this is not the way to keep possession of the ball. Blind pass. Let's see what happens. And what happens is the other team can go ahead and then we lose the zone. So I'd much rather, if nobody's calling for the ball and you don't see where to pass the ball, then you might as well keep it and keep it along the boards until one of your line mates helps you out by getting open. It's occurring to me that we should be winning these face-offs back and not forward. When you think about the chances of you being able to move this ball forward, look how many defensive players are between you and the goaltender. It's a very low percentage play. I've got two open guys behind you, behind the center here. So Tom's got to try to win it back to the points so they can take a shot, and then the offenseman can get the rebound. So it's all about ball control, guys. So if we're basically starting off by giving the other team the advantage, we're going right, trying to go right through them. It's not a high percentage play. A better team is not going to let you walk through the face-off circle and bury a goal into past the goaltender. It's not a high percentage play. Okay, good wheels to get to the ball here. That's what we're going to see. And looking up. See, he looks up right about there. You see it? Then he makes the pass. He just kind of misses it a little. Just misses the pass. But the good intention just missed the execution on it. Something that I want you to see. Do you see how, I believe it's Ty there. What he's trying to do is he's trying to get into the open area. You're like a football receiver trying to get into the seams of the opposing defense. So that's what the offense has to do. When they don't have the ball, you should be looking to stay in an open area, an open seam. So basically a hand pass coming up here. I think Tom passes it to himself, and it's a good play. Now, I just spoke about how when you're on offense, what you're supposed to be doing is you're trying to find some open space to get into so you can receive a pass. So that's why I would say that it was ill-advised for Tom to run up right next to James. And basically, I don't know whether there was just a small drop pass there or whether it almost looked like Tom stole the puck away from James from this angle. So I think the better move would have been for Tom to actually get into the slot area and hope and expect that James was going to be able to dish the puck to him in the slot area. So you can see just how open that area was there for a second. I mean, I would say James does the right thing. He kind of, see how he drifts into that open area? That's what you want to do. Always looking to drift into that space. You'll never see two guys in the NHL trying to be that close, trying to get the puck. So let's try to be more like NHL players, guys. Spread out and look to receive a pass. Get in a position where you can receive a pass. This is great work by Danny Mac here. Sacrifices the body a bit. He takes a hit. Still on the ground when the ball is scored. Way to deposit it in the net there, Tom. John Roach way to be there for the rebound. So that's the time when you want to be next to that crease area. When things are just crashing around the net. That's the time to be at the crease. Otherwise, always be looking to get into a seam and receive a pass. Offense. Okay, I'm going to sound like a bit of a broken record here, but another blind pass gives away a golden opportunity here. We have three guys in deep. We've got one out-of-place defenseman and only one guy covering that whole slot area, that whole crease area. So I would have skipped the blind pass here. There would have been nothing wrong with going around and heading towards the back of the net. I mean, Danny, you did a great job selling that backhand, but what happens if you would have sold that backhand, faked it to your backhand, and then went to run the other way towards the net? Much, much better to keep the ball and then be able to hit one of the guys. It looks like John Roach there. He could have helped you by yelling that he was open in that circle area, and that would have that would have helped the play also. So again, keep the ball. Don't just blindly. I'd much rather have you guys keep the ball instead of making these blind passes. So you can see what happens. Blind pass leads to us losing the zone once again. So instead of having a great scoring opportunity, now you guys got to bust your tails to get out of the zone. So that play could have gone much better. Great hustle again. Let's see what happens. Okay. When you get in on a net, when you get in a goalie like that, try. I know it happens fast, but try to go backhand to forehand or forehand to backhand. If you just kind of go straight at him, the goaltender has a significant advantage. Okay, you're going to see a face-off here, and you're going to watch. I think it's Danny Mac here. See how he's trying to break into the open space there? That's what you want to do. Okay, this is great. See how Tom is in a nice little seam there? That's what you want, okay? Last thing you want to be doing is standing next to a defenseman. You might remember me saying before that I'm encouraging my defensemen to bring the puck out of the zone. The defensemen actually have a significant advantage. Why? Because they're running and everybody else is standing still. So that means the guy with the ball running has a significant advantage because the guys are standing still. Now they got to basically run backwards. So you're going to see, I hope, my defensemen going ahead and carrying the ball out more and more. So that means offense, you got to be ready to get on your horse and get ready to receive a pass. So just like I said, the guy running with the ball has significant advantage. Look how deep Richard is inside this zone, okay? So, but now he needs help, okay? He made it to the other boards. He's not in a great offensive place, but so he's got to be able to pass the ball. Now he needs help. You guys got to yell out where you are, okay? I can tell you that the point is open, but my guess is the point doesn't yell point. So Richard doesn't know to pass it up there, and that would have kept great control inside this zone. In addition, we do have a guy breaking in on the goalie. Good instincts by this person, but just not there fast enough. I will tell you that it would have been an ESPN play if it would have scored. So it's not a very, very high percentage play to go ahead and try to pass it across like this, because in actuality, Richard's got 3 guys on him now. So again, what we have is a blind pass leading to a turnover. Okay, this is going to be a real problem for us against a better team. The better way to maintain control of the ball, and maintain the offensive zone would have been to pass it along the boards back the same way he just ran. But there's no communication, so he doesn't know that we got a guy open in the circle, and he doesn't know we got a guy open in the point, okay? So a better player, a better defensive player would have taken his time and had a good shot to clear the puck, to clear that ball out. Instead, that opposing player weakly shoots it out to our point area, and they're unsuccessful at clearing the zone. We get an awesome shot here from Will on that point. We get somebody is yelling point, and sure enough, the player hears it and passes it back to the point. Let's see what happens. This is how you win hockey games against a better team, guys. Right here, okay? Granted, we're on a power play, but we got this other team way out of position. So watch it, okay? Starts with John Roach, passes it to James. Will passes it back to John Roach, okay? And then we get a great scoring chance here, okay? So this is what we want to do, get the other team out of position, get them running around, and then we get open guys, and then we can get quality scoring chances. This is how you win. This was probably the prettiest play you guys have ever put together, and this is how you win. Do you see how both James and Will make these other players really pay because they overcommit? See the guy slide there and then the other guy comes out on will very weakly, okay? So that's how you make guys pay for overcommitting. So you basically pass right around them, not blindly, I might add. What you're going to see here is an ill-advised pass up to the point. Two things have to happen. Number one, the player with the ball has to have his head up, and he has to know that that point is covered. And the guy on the point has to yell something to say that he's not open. Something like, no point, no point. Okay, so a little more communication out there. So let's keep the ill-advised passes, the scary, no-look passes, to a minimum. Just because the point was open once doesn't mean it's going to be open all the time. I think you guys would do a lot less running out of the zone if you guys would keep the blind passes to a minimum. You guys cough up the ball all the time. Let me make an example of this player that's sitting right in the slot right now. I would tell you that what he's doing is he's actually taking himself out of the play. Why does this player want to be between, he's got a defenseman between the ball and himself. So he either has to either get to the net or he's got to actually back up a little and be deeper in the slot. This way, James has somebody to pass to. Let's see what happens. Does he give James a good target? Or is James left to just try to make a low percentage pass? As an offenseman, you got to be constantly trying to get into the open seam, okay? So if you're standing still, you're really not helping the play out. As an offenseman, the only time to be standing still is around that crease area. Otherwise, you should be looking to work. You should be working to get open all the time. The only time to stand around is next to the crease when a shot is coming in or when you're trying to screen the goalie. So I would argue that what Rizzi should have done is tried to double back into that deep slot area. Now, let's take, I think it's the guy in the white helmet here. He's also not in the greatest position when this play begins. Let's take a look. Our third offenseman is in a horrible position. Number one, you're never going to score from that angle, and number two, you've got a defenseman right on you. So now's the time to be breaking away from this defensive player. Of course, you could always get in front of him also to take him out of the play. A little interference, you're not going to get caught with on this play. So do something besides just stand there and watch the play.